What
Can
better
you-
day? What better day to do? I know I got my cozy sweater on because I'm freezing my what off in my house. Because my husband doesn't like to turn the heater on. 'cause
Oh,
of
you
the
live with a
gas.
heat Nazi too?
Oh my God, it drives me insane.
Insane. It paralyzes me, and I'm afraid I'm gonna wake up dead in my bed.
I can't even describe to you. It's like I just
Oh,
want
yes,
to say,
you don't need to, Jules. I know.
are we feeling the same pain, Gabe? Maybe we should switch houses then, because I'll have my heat up to 72 and be a happy camper.
72 would be nice, and I suffer at 70, but I'm like at limited to 67.
Oh, mine's sitting right now at 66. Thank you very much.
Mine's sitting at 69, but before I pick up Deb, it's gonna have to go back down to 67, 68.
Yeah, no,
I'll be in trouble.
be in trouble. No, it's just I want to say we can't afford heat. Anyways,
I
just
mean,
saying.
I
Just saying.
mean,
I mean, I have like some diamonds on. I've got
Did you get a
Exactly.
lovely hat and scarf set for Christmas?
but my beanie is that's what I've been wearing, man, because this head,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
head can't be cold.
I've been married. Let's see. What will this year be? 36 years, I think. Been a battle, man.
All the time.
Been a battle. All right, enough about complaining about the heat. Thank God he doesn't watch any of my events. He doesn't do any of that stuff. So we're
Same
all,
here.
Oh,
all
okay.
good.
Yours is
All good.
beautiful.
I can complain. I can complain here all day long. This could be my new therapy session.
Yeah.
Preach, sis. I know what you're feeling.
All right. I think we got another go. Okay, so Gabe, I'm reading a really good book of yours that's not out till April though. It's called
one?
Irma by Terry McDonald. Terry McDonald, maybe? Irma.
Irma?
It's his story of his mom. It's really good. He's the guy who started LitHub.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's on my summer list.
yeah. It's not coming out for a while, but
Yeah.
I wanted to get it. I'm trying to finish it so I can get a rec in for tonight. For
Yeah, it's one of my early release. It's an
Yeah.
April book.
really
It is
good.
like mid-April.
Julie, you're going to get a manuscript from Jason Kaufman pretty soon of remember the devil aspect?
Yes.
He's got a new one, and you're going to get a manuscript. So
Ooh, I can't
yeah.
wait for that. That was
Yeah.
so good. That was
was
one
so
of
good.
the best books. Devil Aspect. If anyone who wants to put that, Amanda, you can put that on a rec for me, as a good backlist title. Best twist that I didn't see coming.
Yeah, I didn't
Love-
either.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
good.
either.
Love that. I mean, I love it when it's done so well
Yeah,
that
You
after
don't
the
s-
twist is revealed, you go, I should have seen it,
exactly.
but I didn't, and I was so glad I didn't.
Yeah.
It was good. It was
Yeah.
really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good one. All right, enough about that. It's going to go Steve, Amanda, Gabe, and so Steve, take it away.
All right. Well, this book's been out a couple weeks now. Bret Easton Ellis, The Shards. It came out, I think, 2 weeks ago, something like that. Bestseller already. It's the best thing he's written in many years. It's his first novel in over 12 years, and it's kind of it has a bit of American Psycho and a bit of Less Than Zero in it. His two best novels. So, and it's kind of a metafiction. He's a character in the book, and it's sort of, Less Than Zero was him in New York, and that in the what was it, 80s. But this is the early 80s where he's still in high school. He's 17. He's in LA. He's going to the Buckley Prep School. And so there's a lot about, just how that circle of friends he's within, and he's going through sexual confusion, boys, girls. He's not sure what he wants or what he wants to do. And a new kid comes to town that all the kids are fascinated with, and Bret just is, keeping his eye on him, while simultaneously there's a serial killer on the loose called I've forgotten what it's called. It's like the Night Stalker, but it's not the Night Stalker, because that with the night trawler, that's what it was. So anyway, he begins to think, well, is there a connection between this new kid and that series of horrible crimes that's going on? So that's basic, the setup for it. Yeah, really his best work in a long time.
Ooh, sounds really good. Sounds like
Yeah.
that. I might have to bubble that up because I have
Yeah.
seen it around and I haven't bubbled it up. I mean, let's like less than zero. Let's just talk about the movie for a second.
I never saw the film Less Than Zero.
I mean, now that's the thing. I don't know if it would hold up.
I
Yeah,
don't think so.
I don't think it would.
I'm like 2 years too old for the Less Than Zero crowd.
I'm a little bit
I
too,
didn't get it.
Gabe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. Now my buddy Ed, who's a few years younger than I am, he was like, "That's the Xers, the
Right.
full on."
Yeah, it's
but I'm a
Gen
tail
X,
end
right,
boomer.
Julie?
What's
Yeah.
that?
Gen X, right? Is the
Maybe
brand-
a little. I don't know. I'm kind of. I liked it when it came out, but it's a very 80s movie though.
Yeah.
And so there was some bad, I don't know. But see, I love Andrew McCarthy. So anything that he does, I'll watch. So there's a little bit of fangirl going on with that.
Uh-huh.
God, who's not Flash, who's the Robert Downey Jr. He did a really good
Oh.
job. But I like,
okay.
I just don't know if it, because
He might have
something
been
about,
really high when he did that.
It never comes on TV. I haven't seen
Yeah.
it even
no.
playing.
And I
so-
think it's because there's something about the 80s movies and the dressing and stuff that just doesn't stand up to time. I don't think.
Yeah.
So just having lived through it, it's like, ugh.
Unless you're John Hughes, I guess. but-
Yeah, but that humor was that he's kind of gotten canceled on some of his stuff too.
Yeah.
When you look back at like Uncle Buck and 16, there was not great stuff.
Oh no, there's some bad stuff.
There's some bad
Molly
stuff, but-
Ringwald canceled him.
Yeah, yeah, kind of. Anywho, okay, Beth Doherty was like on a reading rampage this weekend. Let's see if I can get back to her. She read Trespasses. Okay, Beth, right? Disorientation, Tides. I loved Tides.
No, Deborah left tights.
Tides was really good. And Greenwich Park. So you were on quite a roll this weekend, my friend. So good on you, or week, I
right.
should say. Good on you. So, okay, Amanda, I know you're waiting patiently to give us your rec for this week. Let's roll. Let's
Yes.
roll.
All right. So here we go. Share. Alrighty then. So my first book up is The Snow Hare by Paula, and I'm not going to even attempt to butcher this name because I will just not do it justice by any means.
Like Towerwitz.
Lichterowitz.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Okay.
Horowitz.
That sounds
Sure.
good.
It's like it's spelled.
Yeah.
Lichterowitz. Okay.
It's
I
Towerwitz.
hate to butcher people's last name.
I
I know
know.
what that's like. So I'm always super self-conscious about pronouncing last names. So this actually is a novel that was inspired by the author's own grandmother. And so this, was set, it's actually about a woman, a Polish woman who had these dreams of becoming a doctor, but unfortunately they were destroyed during World War II when her family was forced to move and work in work camps in the Siberian tundra. But in the coldest and darkest of places, she found an unexpected light in the form of a new love that made her hope and dream again against all these odds. It is a story of love, loss, courage, compassion, and it is just so heartfelt. And this is a book that just resonates with you after you read it. It is absolutely lovely. And yeah, so there we go. The Snow Hare by Paula Lichterowitz. See, it's already gone.
Wow, now you've got
See?
Lichterowitz, I think.
Lichterowitz. Again, absolutely beautiful, stunning.
Great
Again,
package.
it is. It's fabulous.
Yeah,
Fabulous.
really good package. And the story sounds really good too, especially for this time of year with your little background. It's got everything going on. I love it. Sounds like it would be really good. Is that her first book?
This one, let me double check if my computer hates me.
That's all right. We can tell us later. It's
I'll
always
tell you
good.
later because my
Yeah.
computer just hates me so
Okay.
much.
Just
It
tell
is
us
not
later.
her first book.
It's not okay.
No,
All right.
second.
Alrighty. Okay. Gabe, what do you got for us?
I've got something interesting. I don't usually,
Oh, good.
we don't do a lot of art books, so we do some design and visual art stuff, but not necessarily big artsy things. But once in a while, we do something cool. And Black Art is the book I'm going to present to you today by
Ooh.
Zaria Ware.
Really good cover.
It's a really striking package, right?
Yeah.
And it's a fun, it's a fun book to go through. It's not just images. There are a lot of good stories in here. There are a lot of very informative, fun pieces in here. I think when people think Western art, they think a certain kind of artist, usually European, usually for sure white at least, right? But what Zaria Ware is doing here is bringing attention to these artists that have existed in the art of Western world since the beginnings. And in particular, we're looking at 19th century artists in this book. And I want to see if I could show you a couple of images from the book. So we see all kinds of things. This is what we're used to seeing coming from Mother Africa and things that were done here as well. But there are a number of authors, illustrators and artists who we'd never even heard of, who had classic training, who trained with other artists. And you get images like this.
Beautiful.
So it's not the kind of stuff you expect when you see a more ethnic kind of an art book. This is a book that the artists that really set the stage for the Renaissance of the early 1920s and the Harlem Renaissance and easy. I mean, you're looking at Hudson Valley painters and stuff like that looking. So a book that I'm excited to talk about, when we first were presented it, I had to take a look at it first before I got behind it. But it's a really interesting look at art that's completely, and I don't know why it should be so contrary to us. As I said, these
Right.
are artists who've been involved in the art world for hundreds of years.
How big is it, Gabe? Is it a pretty big coffee table? book?
It's a good sized coffee table book. It's a $45.
Okay.
It's a $35. It's a $35 book. It doesn't have a bad
Not bad.
price tag. It's
Not a bad
paper
price,
overboards, so the art is
Okay.
on the board. So we saved a couple bucks on the jacket, but
Yeah.
I think that's the art. Like the cookbooks are looking really great these days.
Right, they are. Those are looking really. I like it. I like that actually much better than
Me
a
too.
cover.
Yeah, they make the
slipcover.
the covers really pop that way.
That looks like it'd be something that will look great on our gift wall. So I hope that we have it on order.
Yeah, you got it on order, and it'll be on
Good.
sale tomorrow. And I would, give it a good look. Like I said, it's unexpected. Usually, not the kind of art that you're used to seeing when you're looking at a book about African American art.
Well, you guys were at Nancy's house does she have some amazing art?
Incredible.
Art, man.
I mean, so that now I think you might understand more her loving of that gift art wall that we've got, because she's got definitely an
sense.
eye.
It makes
Um,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
She has some incredible art. So
Yeah.
I see that on our art wall for sure. All right, Steve, back to you.
All right, next up, this is not showing very well.
Turn it sideways again. There you go. There you go.
There you go.
Yep.
Swimmers.
The Swimmers by Julia Tsuka. And we found out, this is now in paperback. It just came out in paperback a couple weeks ago. And this morning we found out that she'd won the Carnegie Medal for fiction for 2022. So that's a pretty big deal. Julie's the author of Buddha in the Attic and When the Emperor Was Divine. She seems to write a book every 10 years. And you'd think every 10 years they'd be, 800 pages, but they're always very slim. Every sentence is perfect. She's one of those writers, and she's very spare, but everything is packed. And so The Swimmers is divided into 3 sections. And the first, it's kind of told almost in the form of a Greek chorus. It's a community swimming pool, and you know, she, in that first part, she kind of tells the stories of all the different swimmers who use it, and they're all different backgrounds and regularity at the pool and different things. And they spot a crack in the bottom of the pool, and that becomes larger and larger, and how all these different swimmers react to that crack is part of that first section. And then the second section, they just take one of the swimmers, an older woman who has oncoming dementia and Alzheimer's, and what she's dealing with and what the pool has meant to her. And then the third section is her daughter coming to take care of her and their relationship and how it's been fraught through the years and coming to terms with her mother's illness. So it's just a great book. Carnegie Medal, not that they don't just
They don't just give those, they just don't give those away.
They don't give those away. So it's out in paperback, which is great. So I'm sure you guys have it. The Swimmers by Julia Otsuka.
And like you said, her writing is so just tight. And the
Yeah.
fact that that smaller book has 3 sections that are just like
Yes.
so impact, it's like, it's pretty amazing. It's
Yeah, she's
pretty
pretty
amazing.
amazing.
She's pretty good.
Yeah.
okay. Back to Black Art. Beth Johnson, who's one of our good followers here on this, she says she wants this book for an art major on her list. So we've already got
nice.
one. Got one gone. Love it. All righty, Amanda.
Again. All right, here we go. So this next one I have is out in paperback. So this is the
What?
paperback edition with a brand new cover. Not gonna lie, I totally like this color way better than the hardcover, which was like a red cover. But anyway, so we have Left on 10th by Delia Ephron. This is her memoir, A Second Chance at Life. And so this one, super excited, really loved it in the hardcover format. So happy to see this kind of fresh cover. I think this is gonna be a little bit more attractive on the shelf. In paperback. So this was, New York Times bestseller. It was an in-house favorite. It actually even inspired one bookseller to join the bone marrow donor registry. And if you're not a bone marrow donor, sign up to be on the registry. I myself am on the registry, and I highly recommend getting on that registry. But there you go. It's super fun. It's super great. So I'm glad to see it out in the paperback format now.
Kind of a tough subject. I mean, it's going to be told in the humor, but it's about
Yeah.
her struggle with, I can't remember the what she was struggling with, but anyways. So
I don't remember
Yeah.
which one of them.
yeah,
The cancer. So
no, very good.
but
Glad
yes,
that,
but
glad
no,
that's out in paperback.
yeah, no, very excited for it in paperback now. So
Awesome. All right, Gabe.
Well, we are motoring
We're
today.
motoring.
Motoring.
No
reminds me of
prisoners.
a song. Reminds me
we're
of a
fishing.
song.
But who was it? Sister Christian.
Sister Christian, Night Ranger.
Right? Oh, we're good. Showing our age again. Showing our age.
So I've been waiting to talk about this book for a long time, since I read the manuscript months and months ago. Deborah was going through a small book phase, so I went through a small book phase. Keegan's books are out. Kick the Latch by Scanlon. If you haven't read that, it's a terrific book. I think it's a Norton book. Anyways, reading a lot of short things. I just read something in Spanish by a Guatemalan author. That's like 110 pages, maybe. So it's been a lot of fun, a lot of really good stuff out there from all of these cultures, and they're small and they're pretty brilliant. This is not that. This is 640 pages
Ooh.
of epic literary fiction. I think if you are a curious reader, you're going to really love Tomb of Sand. It's like I said, I've been wanting to talk about it. One of my favorite books on this upcoming winter or summer list that we talk. So from our books publishing from January through April, this really is, I think, the one that impressed me the most. Is it my favorite? It's among my favorites. It's just such a good book. I mean, at our house, Deborah was reading about it, and she asked me one night, I busted on my iPad, and she's like, "What are you reading?" I go, "I'm reading Tomb of Sand." And she goes, "Oh, do you want the book?" And I'm like, stupid, it's not out yet. And I'm like, you can't have the book because she goes, yeah, I read something and I ordered it from the UK, I think this one is. And it
Yeah.
was published in India, and she's taking sales from here. But I just got my copy, American edition, yesterday, the day before, and I'm really excited to have it. I'm just going to stay on my shelf because it really moved me. It really took me places. I think it's a novel that's really important. It is a woman's novel. And I'm not going to say primarily a woman's novel. I think a lot of the reviews you're going to read, a lot of the discussion and conversation is going to be about a woman's book. And it is. It's the characters all seem to be women. And the main characters seem to be women. But I just, I didn't even think about that. Because I don't see gender, obviously. It's such a brilliant book. To begin with, it is. So it's a group of women in a small town in India, and it is written in these sections. And the essential premise is the grandmother takes to bed because she's lost a loved one. So if there's a younger family member has died, and I'm sorry, I can't remember if it was her daughter or a granddaughter that passed, and because it was so long ago that I read it. But so she's grieving, and she's incapacitated. She's in bed, and she just lies in bed, and that's where she spends days and days on end, weeks on end. At some point, somebody decides to bring grandmother a cane, and this cane takes on a certain significance, and she's sort of at some point somebody had put the cane in her hand when she's in bed instead of leaving it on the side of the bed, so she looked kind of like a tree. And then she sort of became this significant monument to the people of the village, and like the tree of life. So people were coming to pray to her and ask her to heal them and all these kind of crazy things. So it's a book that's really steeped in magical realism. It's full on Garcia Marquez sort of magical realism. It's populated with characters that are very real, and other characters that are a little more ethereal. And how real are you? Which is great with dealing with the abstract portions of this book. But ultimately, I found this book to be a book all about, yes, women's issues, women empowering themselves, women finding power, but also it's a book about colonialism. And that's why it really took me back to Garcia Marquez, especially 100 Years of Solitude, which is, again, all about American Fruit Company and what they did in Latin America and led to the coups, etc. And this book just does all that. It really is. And I think the extra punctuation on this book is that our author, Gitanjali Sri, is actually very fluent in English. She's Indian. Everybody speaks. It's sort of the mother tongue and education. But she wrote it in Hindu. So
Ooh.
it's like flipping the colonialism, the bird, I thought.
Yeah.
Like FU to the anyways, so it was written in Hindu, and it was translated by Daisy Rockwell. I think the translation is great, and as I said, it's done very well in the UK. It's been a bestseller in India, and I think it's going to do real well here for the good reader. It won the International Booker Prize. It's the first.
I was just going to talk about that, because that's, like the Carnegie, they don't hand those out. It takes some special book to win the Booker International Prize too.
And the first book in Hindi to win that prize. So we're
really?
I'm excited. Yeah, we're definitely excited. It comes from Via, which is my imprint that mostly works in translation.
Yeah.
But books from other cultures, even if English speaking.
Okay, so Beth Doherty is one of our good readers and followers here. She's got the UK version of Tomb of Sand.
Took a sale from me, Beth, but I'm glad you're reading.
But that shows you the power of that book.
It really
because-
has. Like Deborah read about it. This is months ago that Deborah ordered that,
Right.
as probably Beth did too, because
Yeah.
the word's gotten out. So
Yeah.
be the first kid on the block.
I love it.
If
I
you're not-
kind of like the US cover, but the UK cover is pretty cool too.
UK cover's cool, and if you look at the Indian cover, they're all kind of a little difference with some similarities, oddly.
Yeah,
So,
interesting.
yeah.
I always love how they do the different covers. All right, we're blazing through, but it's still the lightning round. So there you go, Steve.
Okay, for my final pick, and again, it's very
Just
hard to
sideways is
see.
good. Yeah, there you go.
It's Up with the Sun.
Yep.
By Thomas Mallon.
What?
And yeah,
A new Thomas Mallon?
yeah, we've had him for a while. This is, he's been writing mostly kind of political novels, and he did one on the Bushes. He takes real people and real politics and then delves into their characters and makes it very interesting, but it's not interesting to a lot of people who aren't interested in politics. And this new book, this new novel has nothing to do with politics. It's about, again, based on a real person. His name was Dick Cowman. He was a Broadway actor. He had very Broadway and like early TV in New York kind of success or minor success. He rubbed elbows with Lucille Ball, Rock Hudson, and he was gay, and he's gay in the post-war era. So this is all pre-Stonewall. And his story ends extremely tragically because he's murdered in his own apartment in New York. And so this novel is told from the perspective of his accompanist who played with him on gigs and stuff, and it's told from his point of view. And I had a good quote here from James Ellroy. Through the curious life of Dick Cowman, a real-life celebrity striver, poisonously charming actor, and eventual murder victim, the unforgiving words of post-war showbiz and down-low gay sexuality are thrown into stark relief in this page-turning blast. So Ellroy liked it, and I think it might surprise a lot of people, and you start seeing some good reviews of this, and I think the sales are going to be better, especially out here, than on some of these other recent books. So that's, one more time, it's it's Up with the Sun, Thomas Mallon, and it's on sale February 7th.
So next week. Next week, yeah.
Next week. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds interesting for sure.
Yes. Very.
Very interesting. All right. Okay. Our Amanda in the background, Gabe, put the YouTube link to Sister Christian, just in case you want to go back and
Set the mood.
set the mood. Set the mood. Too damn funny. All right, Amanda, what do you got for us for lightning?
All right, so as per usual, my last one is going to be a children's book. This is World Made of Glass by Amy Polonsky. And this book actually is about a young girl named Iris. It is set in the 80s at the height of the AIDS epidemic. And she finds out that her father has been diagnosed with AIDS. And her father had come out, and now he lives with his partner just a couple floors above where her and her mother live. So this is a really interesting story as this young girl navigates, the fear, the unknown at the time of what AIDS was. How is she dealing with this? This is also just right on the cusp when one of the first AIDS drugs was coming out. But it's a little too late for her father. And she's just kind of got to find strength and purpose, and how is she going to move forward with this? I think there's a lot of parallels to some today's things, monkeypox and the fear in that was out for a while. And it's just a really wonderful book. It also has been selected for an indie next pick. So that of course is nice to see. And it's got a few starred reviews. So yeah, there we go. World Made of Glass.
Awesome.
By Amy Polonsky. And I'm going to sneak in one more,
Okay.
just because
Sneak away.
we have time. And this one, the Newbery and the Credit Cut Skiing Award, so Free Water by Amina, just started in there, was announced this morning, and it is one of mine. So I just wanted to throw it out there. There you go. Sneaking in one more.
Love it. No, I'm glad you did. The World Made of Glass book, is that a young reader or I mean,
I'm
is it
sorry,
a
yes, I
young
should have
adult?
specified. It is a middle grade.
Middle grade. Okay.
Middle
that's a
grade. My
middle grade.
apologies. I should have specified that. Yes,
No,
it is
that's
a
okay.
middle grade.
Okay.
Cool cover
that's okay.
concept.
What's
Yeah.
that?
Cool cover concept with the
Yeah.
ball looking at the image inside. the
Yeah, it's
crystal.
really good. Yeah, that's really good. All right, Gabe, bring us home.
Here I go.
Here you go. Rounding out the hour or half hour. God, we're done in a half hour, you guys. Should give more Rex. What more do we have to talk about?
You know,
That's why I snuck one more in. I was like, I got time. I got
you
time.
got kind of time.
Okay, I love this cover.
Italo Calvino. So this is the kind of publishing, and I think Tom presented something recently that or the Voyage of the Beagle,
Mhm.
which has been around since like 1970, and he'd never read. And we occasionally do repackagings of some classics, and we've got some really good books coming in the summer list. We're getting The Name of the Rose back at Harper and
Ooh.
Foucault's Pendulum. We're repackaging one of my favorite books, Deliverance. I'm gonna be forcing Deliverance into people's stores because that's one of the best books ever. Anyways, so
Wow, that's kind of fun.
that's a great, yeah. And sometimes these books, it's hard to get them attention because they've been around for decades. But you know, I just been on this binge of like reading. I just read Henry Adams' book on Chartres and Mont Saint Michel. I'm just reading all kinds of stuff. A book on Venice by what's his name, Ten Boom, the Dutch author. I'm just like all over the place. And some of these, I got voracious all of a sudden, and I want to read stuff that's got meat on it. And this is perfect for that kind of reader. If you get the Jones for something that's got some meat, and Italo Calvino is one of the modern masters of fiction, and he brings the abstract into a concreteness kind of thing. I think when you read Calvino, he takes you places. You got to extend your brain a little bit. These are short, accessible essays. You don't have to bite into the whole book, though I do suggest reading him. But I think you got to get used to what he does. And I think that there are certain authors, Siebold, Calvino, authors that you have to work a little harder with in some stuff. But this is all really great, short essays. I got a cool package. You know what? You're gonna be the coolest kid on the block, on the bus, reading your book, or at the park, or at the beach. You bust out your Calvino, and people will
Impress all the girls.
Everybody. So fun publishing. A good way to introduce people to some. I mean, he was writing, 60 years ago, 70 years ago.
Yeah.
A good way to introduce him to.
Good package. And I'm excited about excited about Name of the Rose, and I can't wait to see what the packaging comes out.
Yeah,
with
because I
those.
like the package that Random has on it now. It's a cool, impressive looking black cover with the
Right.
image on top. It's cool. So I never understand how good these people are. Really great who design these covers.
They are good. Okay, Name of the Rose reminds me of, so they're talking about, since we've got some extra time, we'll give some extra Rex. Name of the Rose always reminds me of, I don't know if it's any of yours. Who is an instance of the finger post? Is that any of you
That
guys?
was Peng,
Is that Penguin?
It might have been, was it Knopf? I wasn't there when it was published, but I know.
That's
we
still
published-
one of my favorite. I recommend if anybody hasn't read An Instance of the Finger Post, it's one of the best. Just it's atmospheric. It reminds me a lot of The Name of the Rose in that way.
Yeah.
That it's, that it just has, it's one murder, but told from 4 different perspectives during medieval-ish times or whatever.
yeah, it was
but-
the right around the gunpowder plot era. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's really
good.
good and really good. So An Instance of the Finger Post, but here, I'll share one.
it's a good way to
Yeah.
spend 2 weeks of your life.
No, come on. It's all good. Let's see. Okay, so this is coming out. Gabe, I think this is yours.
This is mine.
I think it's coming out this week. It says on Edelweiss that it's coming out on the 1st, which is kind of weird because that's a Wednesday.
Yeah, because it didn't show up on my as I was going. I've been waiting on this because
I know.
liked it a lot.
I know, but I on Edelweiss it says the 1st, and I'm like, I don't know if that's true or not. Let me go back to this.
Yeah.
It didn't
Yeah, it says
show-
February 1st, which I think is really odd. But anyways,
Weird.
I don't think that's right. I don't think
I don't-
Edelweiss is right. So you can look while I'm
I'll
talking
double
about it.
check on that on my end, because it didn't show up on my.
Yeah, check on
releases
that.
too.
Because I love this book. And this is one of those that talk about a great package. Love that cover. But this is the Catherine de Medici's court, and it's inspiration of the real story that led to the inspiration of Beauty and the Beast. And
Oh.
so it's
It's a real
just
dude.
huh?
There really was a real dude for the Beast.
Yeah, yeah.
Who had that
It's-
hair. I don't remember what the
Yes.
name is called.
Yes.
And they had children that they would give away
yes.
as like
Yes.
novelty, which was so sad.
Yeah. So this is the story about him and the woman he marries and what court was like in the Medici court. I mean, it's really good. So I love that one, and I'm just trying to scroll through and see. So that when I saw that it was coming out this week, I was like, okay, I'll talk about that one, because most of the stuff that I've been reading, honestly, is not coming out for a while. So yeah, like Wandering Souls is really good, but that's not out till like March. So anywho, so that's one at least. I still don't think the February 1st is right. But
Check that on my end. 'Cause that's-
Anywho.
I was on Edelweiss digging around today.
yeah, and that's doesn't seem, because you wouldn't release a book on a Wednesday.
No, I forgot the title because I was thinking about other things.
Marvelous.
Marvelous.
It's marvelous.
Marvelous.
I'm telling
Losing
you.
my mind, losing my mind.
Okay, and then the other thing, that if you're in San Diego, I want you all to come to our event that we're having on Friday, February 24th. Lessons in Chemistry.
Oh,
Bonnie Garmis is going to be there. We're taking her down to Coronado Library. We got a nice big room. So I'm super excited. I mean, she bounced back up on the #1. Spot.
Yeah.
that book won't go away. Everybody keep
Oh.
talking about it. You think it's gonna
It's-
like run its course, and now all of a sudden people are.
It's
Another
back. It was
book.
out of stock too for a while there, wasn't
I
it?
know.
Like, yeah, no one could get copies, and then it was back,
Yeah,
and then it was gone
yeah.
again, and then it's back.
So she's coming across the pond, and we are lucky enough to be one of the little towns that are getting her. So
Super lucky.
Yeah. this
super
is
lucky on
great.
that. So come and see Bonnie. And my name drop for the week is Richard Gere again. His event will
Again?
be with Patrick McDonald, and we've got him on Thursday. So that's a virtual event. So all of you can come and watch that.
So I'm gonna name drop in a couple weeks. I'll tell you now. It's Rick.
Uh-huh.
I get to meet Rick Steves in 2 weeks.
Oh,
Heck
I
yeah.
put in a thing to have an event for him, but I don't think he'll come to San Diego. But
I
that's
don't know. He's going to the LA travel show,
Oh,
of course.
so I'm gonna go to there, and I get.
I
to
love
meet-
it. I think it was one of our Beths that's on here. Beth, I don't know if it was Beth. I think it was Beth Doherty that saw him on the Spanish Steps or something. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was cool. On the job.
on the job, he was
on
actually
the job.
on
See,
the
that's what
job.
I'm meeting him at an event, but like this is on
I
the
know.
like you see him in the like out in the wild.
Out in the wild, it'd be
wild.
pretty cool to see Rick Steves out in the wild, I have to
That's
say.
what
Who would think that Rick Steves is like the rock star for all of us?
I'm over the
Yes.
moon. I am so excited to meet him. And then I was talking to them, and they're like, "Who's Rick Steves?" And I was like, "Oh,
how do you not know?
How
was
do you not-
offended." People
How do
that were
you
my
not?
age. I was so excited to share with my friends, and they're like, "I don't know who Rick Steve
Yeah.
is," and I was like,
Yeah, Deborah's sister, one of her youngest sister, who's not that young anymore. We turned her on to Rick Steves streaming, and she just like went through like 80 seasons in like a week or something like that. She loved Rick Steves.
All right. Well, we'll give you an
There you
update
go.
on when Marvelous is really coming out next time.
February 28th is what the
28th.
on sale date. February
Okay.
28th.
Sorry, I got it a little, but you can
February
put
1st
it-
is the release date.
put it on the. Oh, what's that mean?
I
And then you release from the
maybe
warehouse?
check your prescription.
Oh,
Mija. Mira,
Oh.
mijita, it's time to check your prescription, man.
all right. Oh, wait. Why don't I think? Never mind.
Too many numbers.
I got my eyes done recently. All right. Great Rex this week. Steve, Amanda, Gabe, thanks for being here, and happy reading, everybody. Oh, hold on. Let's see. Beth's got one more thing. Yeah, she saw him at Beth saw him at an event once too. So and she took a selfie with him. Love that.
Ooh.
That's what Amanda's gonna do. too.
I'll share when
Okay,
but
all
after
right. Well, we'll do a screen share with that.
I'll do a screen share after so you can see me and oh, I'm so excited.
I love
So-
it. All right, everybody. Happy reading. It's great weather in California for reading. It's raining, so no excuse. So, anyways, have a good week, and we'll see everybody next week for some more good recs. Bye,
Bye, everyone.
everybody.
Bye everybody.